I don't go back to Kennedy Nixon, but I've been watching for my adult life all of the debates. And it's been remarkable. You go back to 2016, you go back to 2020, and it seems like this is the conversation we had. The more substantive debate was at the vice presidential level. And when you turn on the commentary afterwards, there is a lot of conversation of would the American people prefer these as their candidates? I do think it's nice to actually have a debate where you have candidates turn to each other and say, I actually agree with what you said, but here's my vision. And we had that multiple times last night.
So, Ed, I mean, the reality is vice presidential debates have little impact generally on the broader general election. As we make this sprint here towards November 5th, what is the goal of each campaign, do you think?
Yeah, Paul, I think that's absolutely correct. What we wrote in our note at Raymond James was the goal of a vice presidential candidate is to get the American people to have comfort with him or her on whether or not they could be president. And I think both of those candidates clearly cleared that bar last night. As we look to your question and what the sprint is to the end of the month here into November 5th, is trying to get momentum back for the Trump-Vance team and trying to maintain the momentum for the Harris-Walz team. And I continue to believe we have 7 swing states, but as I do my maps, it's very hard to see one side winning unless they capture Pennsylvania. So it's going to be essentially all 4 of those candidates should take up residency either in Philadelphia or in Pittsburgh and see what they can get out of that state to see who can win this election.
So, Ed, I mean, Tom and I, by our math, we think there's 42 people maybe in the state of Pennsylvania that are going to decide this election. I just don't recall it ever being so tight. It seems like a new world of campaigning, a new world of politics, seemingly it gets tighter and tighter. What, in fact, can be done between now and November 5th by either side?
Well, I think it's an important question because we do have the fact that we are just started the month of October, and we have a list of potential October surprises. So for Harris, I think it is about trying to contain those surprises, trying to contain some of the momentum that she's had since she's announced as a candidate. And for Trump, what we're watching is back in 2016 and 2020, he had a surge at the end. Is he able to capitalize on this and get that surge once again?